Welcome back to the Slanted Attic Experience. I'm your host, Tyler, and this is episode 38, a mix of strategy, stories, and just the right amount of controlled chaos. Quick heads up before we dive in. If it sounds like we abruptly lost the second half of the conversation, that's because we did. Or more accurately, we never recorded it in the first place. Classic attic move. So if the outro feels sudden, just know the mics were off, but the chaos carried on. Joining me are two longtime friends, Kyle, a college football analyst with a deadly short game, and Graham, a Duke-born Hokie Rays Premier League supporter who now rides hard for Brighton and Hove Albion. Together, we dive into NFL quarterback play, the wear and tear on cornerbacks, and whether the Steelers should make a move at quarterback. We talk team building, two-back systems, and what happens when baseball leaves small market teams to fend for themselves without a salary cap. Then, we shift gears, first job disasters, Tom Brenneman's infamous apology, our Urban Dictionary word of the day, and look at Richmond's recent water infrastructure failure. We share crazy work stories, debate the best fast food chains, and test the limits of a $5 budget. Plus, my first episode of Grey's Anatomy, the economics of storage units, and the barely legal mechanics of Beerio Cart. If you're into sharp analysis, good laughs, and hot takes, you're in the right place. Let's get started. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Slanted Attic Experience. Today, we have one brand new guest and one that has been on extremely frequently. We were talking about earlier the first podcast that was ever released by anybody in this room. Oh, yeah, this is the first in-room Slanted Attic Experience, so I'd like to welcome everybody today first to that. Should we get the audience going?
Let's get the applause.
Pipe in the crowd noise.
There we go.
We are in front of a live studio broadcast.
All right. And so we have Graham, who's been on here many a time, and I'd like to introduce for the first time Kyle. So let's say something about yourself that might be interesting to viewership out there.
I hate that question. Name 3 things. Yeah, my name's Kyle. Friend of the host. Hit it. I don't know. What do you want me to say?
No, that's all pretty much all I need. So continuing
Dead
conversation from earlier, what do we want to do? College football. We could do NFL, season's over, reevaluate the teams. I hate the Bengals.
I'm a Bengals fan.
I'm a Panthers fan, so.
Yeah, Bryce.
Yeah,
Not too bad, but it's all right. Our owner sucks, but it's all right.
Yeah, you'll figure it out. I don't know. Has Carolina ever won a Super Bowl? Cam Newton came close, right?
Been there twice.
Yeah.
Once in
Rasheed
03.
Muhammad and Steve Smith.
Jake Delhomme was
Jake
quarterback.
Delhomme.
Jake Delhomme was a pretty underrated quarterback. Although, he wasn't ever, top tier quarterback in the league, but he was a decent quarterback.
Who would you equate him to now? Like a Trevor Lawrence? Was having this discussion last night.
No, probably like a Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Just in terms of, level of success.
Where do we think
they're not the same quarterback.
Where do we think Trevor Lawrence is in the scheme? I was like to Bruce, I think he's a mid-tier guy.
I think he's
bottom.
below Baker if we're saying that.
Baker's top 15, top 16.
I get it. You
Yeah,
kind of
he's-
got fucked in your development early by being under Urban Meyer, but
Yeah.
hasn't really.
I think they're
Grown.
both kind of in the same tier, but I would take Baker slightly over Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
I just think Baker's leadership qualities in terms of a quarterback make a lot more of a difference. And he has consistently led his teams to the playoffs year in, year out. Granted, they are in the NFC South, so
Yeah,
not much of a
Who else? Yeah, who else they
spin
got
the wheel
there?
on who's gonna win this
Yeah,
year.
and he does have some good receivers around him. Two
Yeah,
arguably
Injuries, though. I mean, Mike Evans was out for a significant time last year. Same with
Chris Godwin got
Godwin.
hurt too.
So that kind of blows.
It's
But
true.
I'm a Baker fan. I mean, gotta hate him because he was a Browns QB, of course.
Yeah.
you
Well,
know.
and I feel like
And the whole
there,
flag
he just
planting
gets
thing,
hate
fuck that
because
guy.
he was kind of cocky in college, like. But I mean, he's still like that's kind of the mentality he's carried with like a chip on his shoulder throughout his whole career.
You've
Yeah.
got to have that to a degree as an NFL athlete or professional athlete, I think, in my opinion. Just as to some level, I mean, you got to be willing to put it out there. And
Yeah, that's what
You
people
know what
like
I mean?
shit on Eli Apple because he talked so much like crap during the game and would just get burned. I'm like, yeah, but I kind of want that out of a corner.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Talk shit, you get beat, you keep talking shit.
yeah. Like your whole job as a corner is to get into the receiver's head. Like that's kind of part of your job. Some guys do it through like knocking you out or trying to like knock your head off, and other guys do it with their mouth, and other guys do it with just like not letting you get the ball at all.
Yeah.
So
That's why I love the like Marshawn Lattimore, Mike Evans fights.
yeah.
They just go back and forth.
Pure intensity, man.
Yeah.
Or the Josh Norman, Odell Beckham showdown. It was so funny.
That game that Odell like blew up and attacked the kicking net on the
Yeah.
sideline was hilarious.
So it was actually
Lots of
kind of
memes.
funny because like the whole first half, Josh Norman was in his head and like Odell did absolutely nothing. It was just fighting with him the whole time. And then second half comes around, like the Panthers had a huge lead, I think, and the Giants like kind of came back in the game, and like Odell kind of went off and beat Josh Norman like multiple times, like in the second half.
yeah,
And then after that, like Josh Norman his career trajectory went kind of south after
Yeah.
that.
corners feel like have short lifespans.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well,
tough.
How long was Revis Island? That's probably
It was like 2 to 3 years.
yeah.
That's so
like
tiny.
Richard Sherman was good for about that time.
I feel like it's just it's really hard on like those guys because a lot of them are like ex receivers or guys that are a little bit taller and longer. So
Yeah.
like being able to move your hips and like
Yeah, and you're running.
you're running
A lot.
constantly. It's
Every play.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wide receivers sub out pretty
often,
normally.
but you're in there
Defensive-
every
yeah,
play.
You're out there.
Yeah.
Yep. It impacts you on a team like Pittsburgh, who likes to play small ball, and the defense is on the field 60 to 70% of the time.
Yeah.
We hate that. Dude, this year is going to be pivotal but brutal for us. I don't even know what we do at quarterback.
Who's going to be starter this?
I don't even know.
Dude,
I mean, what the fuck? Geno Smith goes to where did he go?
the
Oakland?
Raiders.
Raiders.
Or Vegas? He went to
Yeah.
Vegas? Like, why can't we do that for a third round pick? Are you kidding me?
Because you got
Because we got Justin Fields and
Russell
Russell
Wilson.
Wilson, who's going to turn 37 this year, I believe.
yeah. I would have
Not as ripe as we
stuck
might.
with Fields
want.
last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I think
He needs to develop his passing.
Oh,
He can't really
absolutely.
pass.
Yeah.
That's the problem. But at least like he has his legs.
I
Yeah.
think if I'm the Steelers, I'd seriously consider drafting a quarterback though.
This
I don't
year?
Think that's, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think that's.
I don't think this year there's a good.
That's what I'm saying.
good
Do we do
crop.
that this year?
No, because
What a crop!
I do think there's one guy that you could potentially get like late
At
first round,
22?
early second round.
That's
Jackson
what-
Dart.
That's
I
what
think-
I'm saying. We need to throw a year.
Yeah.
Be like 2-13 so we can have like a
Tomlin's
top.
never had
No.
a losing
pick.
season.
I don't give
so
a
you're guaranteed
shit.
to pick like
I
in
feel
that
like
15 to
everybody
20
thinks
range every
that
year.
like you gotta go like top of the draft to get the best quarterback, but it's not
No.
really the case.
I mean, Kirk Cousins was a fourth round.
He was a 4th round pick. I mean, Brock Purdy was last pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson was a 3rd round pick. I mean, if you look at the draft class 2012, I think it was Russell Wilson, Andrew Luck, RG3, Colin Kaepernick, and Andy Dalton. All of them are out of the league except for Russell Wilson and Andy Dalton, who's a backup now. But it's like,
Rocket.
you know,
Dude.
a lot of those guys didn't have long careers.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's because the problem is these teams tank for the top pick. They have terrible rosters around the quarterback. And then the quarterback just gets beaten to death, has no chance to survive. Whereas the teams that are drafting later, the ones that have a roster that is able to build around the quarterback isn't is more likely to have
Sure.
longevity and succeed.
Yeah, I agree. But, I mean, wouldn't it be nice to have a top 10 pick? It would.
It would be nice. But you could also
Just one
do
time.
what Kansas City did
One
and
time.
trade up for Mahomes.
Yeah.
And they took the risk. They traded up to 10.
Risk
They
reward.
drafted him over Deshaun Watson, but they picked him after
Probably
Mitch Trubisky.
Probably
So
the right choice there.
I mean, both were the right
Yeah.
choice. So, and it turned out.
You could
I
be
mean,
like-
when I saw it, I thought, oh, they should have picked Watson, but I didn't really know too much about Mahomes because he played at Texas Tech.
Texas
but-
Tech, yeah.
He would just throw for like 500 yards a game because they don't play defense
Yeah.
in the Big 12.
Yeah. And like every other
Every game's
quarterback
like
in
65 to 63.
every other Texas Tech quarterback's done that in the past. So it's like,
Graham
okay,
Harrell.
what's new here? You know,
Yeah.
it's not like you're gonna have success in the NFL and win 3 Super Bowls and maybe even more. Like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
it's kind of wild. But
It's funny how those guys pan out. I mean, Big Ben was from Miami of Ohio. I don't remember
Yeah.
where he was picked.
I think I saw a
for
stat
us.
like
He was, like,
60% of the league is rounds like 2 to 4. It's like most first round picks don't last very long in the NFL.
Yeah.
yeah, because if you think about it, the contracts for first round picks and second round picks are so much different. So you're initially paying a guy more, but at the same time, like, the pool is so big that you really don't know. So it's like, yeah, you might miss on your first round pick, but then it actually benefits you because you get the better players who are superior on super small contracts and can kind of hold on to them for a little bit longer and then have to sign them.
Yeah.
But now players are getting more power where if they have a good rookie season second year, they're already kind of starting to look for that.
Yeah.
They're
second
looking for that.
contract.
They're looking for that in college though now because of NIL. Though.
Yeah.
I mean, they're coming into the league already having made money. That's
Yeah,
kind of crazy to think.
They
about.
already have agents established.
Yeah.
The quarterback Michigan signed is like already, I think they said like $6 million or something. It's like the guy's never played a snap in college.
Well, so
6.
I grew up a Duke football fan, and this year Duke signed the quarterback from Tulsa to like an $8 million deal. I think it's the highest deal so far,
Tulsa
or one of the highest. Tulane.
Tulane.
Yeah, Tulane. He was a quarterback for Tulane.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, if I was old and I had a shitload of money, like, I guess I would do it. Like, if I was Phil Knight, I would absolutely be doing what he's doing with just, like, shelling out money for these recruits to, like, win a championship before you die.
Yeah.
That would be gas.
If fucking Jerry Jones would, like, if there was no, like, salary cap, I'm sure he would shell out.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I need to get one more before I croak.
Yeah, I don't know if Dallas is prepping for that though.
Yeah.
We did a
America's
sports
team.
room. You had left for dinner. I think it was sports room 2, and we were talking about the divisional stuff. And Adam was high on Dallas last year, and Liam, of course, was high on Philly, as is every Philly fan.
Yeah.
You know, in the existence of Philadelphia sports. But anyway, Adam was like, you know, I think we got better. I think we picked up some things in free agency and drafted some guys, and both Liam and I were like, I don't know. But as a fan, man, you got to be in there, and I don't know. Sometimes you
know.
can be realist, but
Yeah, there's definitely a
gotta love the team.
a split between putting on your like team color glasses and being like, all right, everything's fucking sick. Like, this is it. And being like, no, actually, we're going to be bad.
Yeah. I mean, at some point you have to be somewhat realistic. I think until the Steelers figure out the offense, you can expect 8-8.
Dude,
or
I
middle
hate,
of the road
I
every
hate
year.
living there. I'd rather be worse and trade away and get a bunch of draft capital or do something. Like, I feel like middle of the road is I'm living in mediocrity. I don't know. It's been 15 seasons ever since I saw 2 Super Bowls. That's been basically.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, how terrible.
Yeah.
How terrible.
Yeah.
It's like,
But
my nephews are Patriots, Bruins, Celtics, and Red Sox fans. Like, all those teams in that region, and they've seen like more championships between those teams than I'll ever see in my life.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what it's like.
Do you follow other sports?
Just college football, NFL.
You like the Reds, right?
Reds fan. I'm a Blue Jackets fan when they do well. I think they're one of the wild card teams right now. See if they make it.
Yeah. The Pete Rose thing. They're thinking about it again for the bajillionth time.
We all knew this was coming. Like, as soon as he died, they'd be like, all right, now we might let you in.
Yeah.
Let it slide.
While you're drawing breath, you will never enter these gates. But
I hate that, though.
But it's also whack. Like, he's all over Cooperstown. He's just not in the hall.
Yeah. Right, because he has the record for most hits.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, so did y'all watch the documentary? I think it's on HBO. It's about Pete Rose.
Nah.
No.
It's super interesting. Kind of a very interesting guy.
Yeah, he's an or was. He dated, but he was an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phenomenal baseball player, though. And he, like, the reason why I think a lot of people loved him was his hustle. Wasn't Charlie Hustle?
Yeah.
Like, he tried 100%.
In today's All-Star game, you won't see a guy running into the catcher and, like, breaking his collarbone, ending his career. Like, that's not going to happen.
No, absolutely not.
But back then.
And it did happen.
And it did happen.
That's crazy.
There was a guy that got paralyzed in the NFL from a hit. I think there's only one guy in the NFL that's been paralyzed. Happened in like the 70s.
You think only one?
One that I know.
There was the Rutgers player. I think his last
there was
name
a Rutgers
Leggett.
player, but that was Eric LeGrand.
Yeah,
but that was college.
That was college.
Yeah.
Damn.
I think there are a lot that do happen, especially in like, not a lot, but enough to where it's football, a problem. Like high school, just because kids haven't learned the proper way to tackle, and they just go in.
And probably size difference too. Could you imagine like me as a freshman in high school? Jeez, I was like 5'2", 110 pounds, if that. You know what I mean? Like, I was small. And like, imagine me against a kid that hit puberty when he was 12, and is like, hey, I have a mustache, I'm 15.
Smokes cigarettes, drives a fucking El Camino.
But, yeah, I couldn't imagine that. I want to talk baseball a little bit, because we got some baseball fans in the room. America's pastime. I feel like viewership's kind of declining.
Viewership's
kind
down.
of.
Viewership
kind of.
It's down. Look, they made the bases bigger. They shortened the game.
The pitch clock. What else? They did a bunch of stuff. I mean, minimal stuff. I mean, I feel like you can't change baseball too much.
The shift is a big one.
That's right. The shift. I don't know, man.
I mean, it's still fun to go to watch a game in person.
Yeah. I would do that.
We did that on my bachelor party. Went to the Reds Brewers game.
Nice. Yeah, we loved
Got
that.
drunk.
Yes, the 999.
Yeah. Tried. No. Didn't come close to
Do you know anybody that successfully completed that challenge?
What's the 999?
It's 9 beers, 9 hot dogs, 9 innings.
Oh, that was our punishment for fantasy this year. So the guy, my buddy Jeff, has got to do it once baseball season rolls around.
Oh, he has to do it. He hasn't done it yet.
No, he hasn't done it yet because he just lost this year. I forgot about that.
Damn, I almost won back-to-back in our league. I had a shot.
You almost did. Yeah.
close only matters
Grant-
in horseshoes and hand grenades.
That's right. Graham drafted Christian McCaffrey in the first round.
Oof.
First overall pick.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikers Island.
That's a big
Yeah.
bummer. I think I took, who did I take? I took Bijan at 4. And I
Yeah.
took Derrick Henry at like 11, I think.
I think I took Saquon at like
12.
7.
Yeah, I wish I would have taken Saquon.
Carried-
Gracie didn't really do
carried
anything,
my otherwise not very good team.
Yeah, my team struggled this year right off the bat just because I took McCaffrey. But also, like, my receivers were decent, but I just never, like, got consistency. And I could never find a second running back. It was brutal.
I mean, the league in general has not been like a running back. There weren't really a whole lot of like lead backs.
No.
But hopefully with Derrick Henry and Saquon going off,
Well,
that people start investing in the running back again.
I think you have to, though. Like, I think the wide receiver spread, I think I was looking at something last season. I think the running back spread is larger than the wide receiver spread, like 1 through 5 or something like that, in terms of you pick a Saquon or a Alvin Kamara, he's scoring on average 8 more points than the next tier of running back, whereas a Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase, their average, the way it averages out, because they get spurts of hot games, is
you add in the
marginally
PPR,
smaller. Right. So.
I meant like in the real football league.
In the
Yeah,
National
like
Football League,
not
sponsored
fantasy.
by CBS.
Brought to you by DraftKings.
Well, I think a lot of teams, and this kind of affects fantasy too, but a lot of teams are going to like 2 running back systems.
Yeah.
Where the main guy isn't getting as many carries unless you're Saquon or Derrick Henry,
Right.
where you're taking the whole load. Like most guys are sharing carries, and it goes to the injury issues. Like, if you're not durable, if you can't play the whole entire season, or maybe miss 1 or 2 games and stay ready for the playoffs too, like, it's not worth it to pay you if you're not going to be available all the time and you get injured. And because of that, we need to have another running back just in case, and could also split time with you so you're not taking as much of the load.
So, interestingly enough, in our league, somebody drafted both Montgomery and Gibbs this year, and he played them all the way to the championship, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I just think
every week, pretty
a
much.
lot of teams
pretty much every week,
like, offensively go to the spread, or like more like pass happy offenses, so then the defense is gonna have like 5 defensive backs instead of like 4, which creates lighter boxes. I think with a lot of defenses going to like protect against that, the teams that can actually run the ball, because they're gonna be in a light box, and if they switch to the heavy, they're not gonna like probably be used to that, and you just ground and pound them.
Yep.
Right.
Only works with a good O-line, though. That's the problem.
Yeah,
like,
for
you
sure.
have
I mean,
a
that
phenomenal
goes
running back. Your offensive
like, you can't
line
pass
is
the ball if you
duty.
can't keep your quarterback upright either.
That's crazy. I feel like that is the most undervalued position in the league. Well, for people that are, I guess, common NFL viewers. For those people that know football, I think even marginally.
It's not a sexy position. So why would you pay?
I mean, if we're talking about the most important positions in football,
guard.
left tackle second behind quarterback.
Left tackle. Thought it was guard. Tackle.
No,
he's on the outside.
Well, blind side of the quarterback.
You got to get your quarterback. You got to protect your quarterback, and you got to get after the other
Michael
quarterback.
Penix. Yeah.
Tua.
Get a DN.
He's a lefty.
Yeah, Tua. Seen any other lefties coming out of college anytime soon? I would love a lefty quarterback. That'd be so fun.
Yeah, it's like a lefty punter. When they punt it, it spins a different way.
Yeah.
You can throw people off. Start throwing it lefty. Spin's fucked up.
Anybody?
Out of college?
Not that I've seen. No.
We should have drafted Penix, I guess. I didn't hate that last year. I hate that he got taken 8th overall. I would have taken him if he would have been available at 22 or whatever we had again.
But I mean, there's another team that went with they have 2 running backs. I mean, Atlanta, Algier and Robinson.
Dijon.
I hate that
Dijon.
fantasy production, bro. That killed me.
It does, but I mean, it obviously didn't work for Atlanta this year. But I mean, I think they're still going to stick with it and give Penix a shot.
It keeps them healthier longer. So
yeah,
max value on that contract.
Oof.
Yeah,
AAV.
Got to keep the money working. It's crazy how that works. I think we talked about that in the sports room too. The cap space in the NFL, 23 to 24 went up. I think 13% or something like that.
I think if we talk cap space, you gotta talk how the MLB doesn't fucking have one.
Yeah. So my team will never win.
Yeah. No. It's you gotta draft right if you're the small teams. In fact, the Dodgers keep getting these players is absolutely insane.
Well, I mean, you could even draft right, as in us taking Paul Skeens 1 overall, but we're literally doing nothing to support him. So, like, in 3 or 4 years, once his contract runs out,
once Ellie De La Cruz's contract, he's like gone.
Yeah. Who do you think's going to pick him up?
I mean,
I don't know. Maybe the Yankees or the Dodgers
or the Mets could pick him up, but it's not like they're going to do shit.
I hate. The Reds swept the Dodgers. They kind of do it like once a year, but whenever it happens, you go to like the highlights of the game, you go down to YouTube, and it's like Ellie will go off for like 4 steals and like a hit for the cycle, and people's comments are like, "Man, he's gonna look good in the blue and white." Fuck, you're probably right.
Yeah,
it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's not.
Enjoy him while you can, folks. Yeah. Get on out and support the local team.
That's the problem, though. Like, we have these small owners. And like Bob Nutting, the owner of the Pittsburgh Pirates, his only wealth is the Pittsburgh Pirates. Yeah. So like, what's he gonna do?
It would behoove him to
invest more
not
money,
pay his players.
Yeah, I mean it's
Jack
a revenue
up the price
stream.
Of the hot dog.
Yep. So like, what are you gonna do?
Well, the Reds owner said, "Where are you gonna go?" When everyone's like, "Yo, are you gonna like spend money on the team?" They said, "No, go fuck yourself."
Yeah, they have private equity ownership up to like 15%. So you could just sell part of the team, bro.
Yeah.
Make some cash. I mean, 15% of the value, you get like 50, 60
million.
I'm
not like a multimillionaire or anything, but I would think if I'm buying a team, I would want them to win.
Or they can just be mediocre.
Sit back and collect a check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it like embarrassed. You go to the owners' meetings, they're like, here comes fucking Poverty Pete. Won't spend money on his team. Fans hate him.
It's like what's that movie with Will Ferrell, Jackie Moon?
Yeah, semi-pro.
Yeah.
What he said.
When he goes to the
owners meeting. It's like, God damn it, Carl, we had a deal.
I love how that's like semi-accurate.
Yeah,
too, yeah. The great merger.
Coffee black. There goes the alley, and here comes the oop. Yeah, it's a good movie.
Classic.
First time I saw it, I think I hated it, and then I watched it again. I thought it was hilarious. Same thing with Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, there's been a couple of movies like that for me, actually.
Yeah,
definitely those two.
Yeah, I haven't. The Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly Sherlock Holmes movie apparently is like the worst movie ever made.
I know, I was disappointed because I love Step Brothers.
Have you watched it?
I haven't seen it.
I haven't watched it.
Is
I'm afraid I'm gonna watch it and like actually like it.
Really? I'm afraid I'm gonna watch it and hate it.
That like I like.
I'm afraid I'm gonna watch it and hate it because I love Step Brothers so
apparently
much.
It's terrible.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
One of my friends saw it in theaters and he said he walked out.
All right,
which is like, I don't know, that's a lot of effort to walk out. Then you got to go get your money back and say that movie sucked. Give me my $7.50.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not
that's
anymore.
True. Fucking...
Like $17.50.
That's crazy, bro. I mean, really. I mean, it's like what, $13 at Movieland or whatever.
I went through Wendy's today. Guess how much a double stack is now?
Like $4.
Yeah, it's $3.59. A double stack? This used to be
it used to be
$1.
Yeah, 99 cents.
It's crazy. Remember we used to
like 10 years ago?
Yeah, like when I was in high school.
Yeah.
If you got a combo deal, you were a sucker.
The mini Frosty. We got the keychain.
Yeah.
Remember that? The 4 for $4
Yeah.
keychain, the Frosty chain.
God. Yeah, I worked
Wendy's.
in the U-Crops that had a Wendy's in the same parking lot, and I would walk there for lunch a lot because
Nothing can beat a faux.
yeah, 2 double stacks, a small fry, and a shake or a Frosty. Like back then, it was like $8, maybe.
If that.
Now you're not walking out without a combo deals at minimally $12.
Yeah, what did I make my first job? Like $6.50 an hour.
Yeah,
$7.25.
I made $7.25. Yeah,
$7.25.
I would work one or two nights a week for like 4 hours, and the occasional Saturday morning. So my paychecks would be like for $60, and I'd take it to the bank that was in the store, deposit it, and I'd walk outside to the ATM and withdraw the money. It's like, all right, here's my money. Here's my week's worth, $60 for bagging groceries. Here we go. Thank you. Go outside.
My first job was at it was like a sports and not an adventure park. It was like a sports facility. It was a big indoor dome, and then they had a couple of outdoor baseball fields. And then they later expanded. They had another like metal building with AstroTurf, and it had like baseball batting cages, like training facility, and then an event space upstairs. And then there was like I think it was called Powertrain. It was like a sports workout, personal fitness trainer, like small section. I don't know. They had a bunch of weights over there.
Just like targeted for sports.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all the kids that wanted to become professional athletes and went there, as is tradition.
Yeah. Big producer of talent.
Exactly. But anyways, I worked in the little cafe. There's an indoor one and later an outdoor one. I worked in a little cafe, and I sold like soda and chicken nuggets and wraps, buffalo chicken wraps, and what else we have? Burgers and like French fries and whatever. So all the travel parents would come in every weekend and buy shit from me. You know, it's different crowds. We'd lacrosse, baseball, soccer, a bunch of different sports. But yeah, I did that. We only worked the weekends, $7.25 an hour. I usually work like 12 hours a weekend, occasionally less. I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
You can do the math.
Yeah, you weren't supporting a family on that take home by any means, but it got you by.
That's right. My hobbies, video games.
Yeah.
Buying a PS4.
Ooh, holla.
Yeah, I remember when that came out. PlayStation 3. I remember getting a PS3 and Black Ops 1. Were you Black Ops 1 gamers?
Yeah.
Yeah, gun game.
Gun game was Black
fun.
Ops 1.
Yeah, see, I was on a 360. I was getting a red ring of death on the 360 every like 3 months and having to get a new Xbox.
Yeah,
you would ship it back to Microsoft, and they would do something and send it back. So it used to be the trick, you could wrap it with a towel, and you would take a hair dryer and like kind of like overheat it. You'd hit the towels, and the towels would warm up, and it would do something. And then when you went to go power back on, it would the red ring would be off, and then you could play your Xbox again.
Really? Secret insider trick.
Yeah. It was fucking it was like herpes. Once your Xbox got it, it would just flare up every now and then. Like, fuck my Xbox. Sorry guys, I can't play Halo 2 tonight or Halo 3 tonight because my fucking Xbox has got the red ring.
The red ring.
So it had like the 4 lights around the main power button for all the controllers to connect to. It would let you know how many controllers or whatever.
Yep.
Normally it was green, but when it went red, you're like, it wouldn't work.
That hits hard.
Do you have a 360?
No,
Oh,
I had a PS3.
So
Dude,
many people.
the only reason I had a PS3 is I was able to pitch the free online gameplay.
Yeah, that is a.
Yeah, because I mean, Xbox was $5 a month or whatever.
Yeah, it was $60 a year.
Yep.
Yeah, I got.
Couldn't do that, bro. I couldn't do that on my $725 wage an hour, my $110 paycheck.
I remember I tricked my dad into paying for it. Credit card. Yeah, because I played my first Xbox Live games were the original Star Wars Battlefront, and
I have that here.
Battlefield 2 Modern Combat.
Yep.
And then Halo 2 came out. And
It was all over. Yep. I didn't play Halo, unfortunately. That was a little bit before my time.
Well, lucky for you, they have a little game called the Master Chief Collection. It's got all the games on one game. Play it. Catch up.
Yeah, I bet it's like $50 though.
I don't know. Go to your local GameStop. You can probably find a used copy.
Used copy for a system of your choice.
Yeah.
Any system you could imagine. We'll have it here
It is one scratch away from not being readable. But we'll sell it to you for $25.
Sponsored to you by GameStop.
GameStop.
Coming with $500 of video game equipment, leave with a $50 store credit.
$50.
Only applicable Monday through Friday, 7 to 5.
Anytime during the weekend, you'll be subject to a 20% discount.
It was straight up robbery.
Yeah, we had a local one that I went to instead of the GameStop.
We had like EB Games, I think, was our local
and they paid
one.
A little bit more.
I think when I was trying to sell my PS2, I went in there with the console. I had 2 controllers and like 16 games. And the price they gave me, I forgot what it was. It was extremely low, obviously. I was like, what the? It's like, no, I'll take this home. I'll put it in the attic.
Yep. Did you do that? Do you still have it?
No. I think I sold it. I think I caved.
Needed the extra $35.
Needed to go buy the latest WWE wrestling game.
Back when games were like $30 or $40.
Yeah.
Instead of, what are they, 60 or 75 now or something crazy?
Yeah, it's
I think some are close to 100, bro.
Well, it depends on if you get like deluxe editions.
Pre-order the platinum edition, so your character looks slightly different.
Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah, they got me on Call of Duty a few times. Not gonna lie, yeah.
I would always know Call of Duty was like the game was done when like you start seeing people in like bunny suits running around. It's just like, all right, this game's done now.
Dude, I remember I used to buy the Zombies maps.
Yeah.
Moon was my favorite.
World at War?
No, I didn't play World at War. Black Ops 1 was my first one. I played, I like Transit, though, on Black Ops 2. Loved that one.
I never played Black Ops 2.
And then Kino on Black Ops 1. Classic. You never played Black Ops 2, man? That's one of my favorites.
I think that's right around when I went to college and I fell out of the game, if you will.
Yeah.
Then I came back with a
raging fire.
The burning of 1,000 suns.
The burning. Oh man.
Honestly, untethered and my rage knows no bounds.
I love the soundboard.
Yeah, so I definitely think you need Tom Brenneman's apology speech as a hotkey over there.
As a hotkey?
Yeah.
Do you know it? Are you allowed to say it on air?
Have you heard it?
No, I haven't heard it.
No, I haven't either.
Jaime, pull that up.
All right, pull it up on your phone and put it in the microphone.
Oh,
I guess Graham established that was the best way. So for everybody out there to fill some time while Kyle's pulling this up, we do have the capabilities to plug a phone into the Podcaster Pro board that we received for Christmas.
You received for Christmas.
Yes.
We didn't get that.
We as in the Slanted Attic Experience, us and everyone else out there, joining us today. But anyways, we have the capabilities. We just need an aux cord.
So for the home viewer, Tom Brenneman was a broadcaster for the Reds. And he made a homophobic comment about the city of San Francisco on a hot mic. And so when in the middle of the game, he pretty much got fired. This is him apologizing.
For the Royals, we go to the top half of the 5th inning. Castellanos to lead things off. Jim Day's going to be taking us the rest of the way through this game. As Holland takes over on the mound. I made a comment earlier tonight that I guess went out over the air that I am deeply ashamed of. If I have hurt anyone out there, I can't tell you how much I say from the bottom of my heart. I'm so very, very sorry. I pride myself and think of myself as a man of faith. As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run.
We'll make a
And so
4-0
that'll
ball
make it
game.
a 4-0 ball game.
Hey, he's got to commentate the game.
Middle of an apology and makes the call. I mean, that's legendary broadcast material.
Jeez.
That'll make it a 4-0 ball game.
That'll make it a 4-0 ball game.
And he never spoke for the Reds again.
No. Like, I don't know if I'll put on this headset again for Fox or the Reds. You won't. See ya.
What did he say even? I don't even remember what he said.
He called the city of San Francisco the capital of hot mic caught.
That's a rough one.
Up next, Madden draws a penis on the screen.
Yeah, I need to get more screens set up in here. Maybe we can do like the VR headsets, and then we're just like this the whole time, just reaching out,
Just feeling around.
Yeah, because like the Apple Vision Pro, you can like set. I could see you guys, but I could also set up like productivity screens and like research shit, like anything.
Like a midget and orgy, you got to feel your way out. Shout out Naked Gun.
Were you waiting for that one?
Yeah, as soon as you said feel around, I was like, ooh, movie quote. Hell yeah.
Perfect opportunity.
Yeah. Hopefully people understand it. Otherwise, you look like an idiot.
Otherwise.
Yes, that's why some things you have to put the context in. You're like, this is a movie
Yeah.
quote. This is a, you don't want to get people the wrong
Oh, you don't
impression.
watch the same shows as me? Shit. Well, then 90% of my humor is not going to seem okay.
It's not available.
Yeah,
for
not
this
available.
broadcast.
Click here to download.
Yeah, click here to download.
Click here to see a recap of all my vocabulary.
Right now, download this episode. Do it.
Blink twice.
Okay. NFL 2025 prediction. Let's do.
This is pretty early.
Yeah,
absolutely. Hey,
Free agency.
so
pretty much.
the podcast that I just edited, we did it preseason or maybe after like the first game. A lot of good shit. Adam's like, I think Jaden Daniels is going to be insane. So I'm going to clip that and put that out.
Clip it.
Yeah.
Make it a YouTube short. So when I'm scrolling,
Except it comes out
when
now
I'm scrolling
and
on the
it's
couch,
It comes out now and it's like an afterthought.
Well,
this
of course you thought it
podcaster
was.
said
This 1 year ago.
1 year ago. Who's he talking about this year?
That's
Well,
what I'm
was it
saying.
even released, dude? It was released in
It hasn't
fucking
even
March.
Been, it hasn't been released yet.
Oh.
It releases in like
Damn.
3 weeks. So that's what I'm saying.
Hot
we
off
have
the
to
press.
we have to do
Here's
it
a
now.
trailer.
So then when the season comes around and this episode releases,
Yeah.
That's
perfect
true.
timing.
That's true.
But we haven't
My-
seen the draft yet.
My
Yeah.
prediction is Travis Kelce proposes to Taylor
T
Swift
Swift.
after they miss the playoffs.
You think the Chiefs are going to miss the playoffs?
No, but I wish.
What do you think about Hendrickson?
Oh, I mean,
Tough.
it's tough. He's a Cincinnati kid, and he was like the NFL sack leader last year. He was the defense. If he wasn't having a good game, the Bengals were giving up 50 as opposed to 35. But you only get so many years in the league. You might as well not stay with the Bengals, who are apparently not keen on keeping their people.
Yeah. Oh, Myles Garrett has the same thought too.
Yeah,
I feel like
Fuck the Browns, dude.
Yeah.
They
But I
are
feel like
lost.
edge
They
rushers-
signed a not so good guy at
Yeah.
quarterback.
no, they didn't.
Now I have slander on the Ravens too.
Yeah,
Jay Tuck.
little Justin
Tuck.
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 Give me a tuck.
He obviously wasn't tucking that towel too
No.
well.
The Texas tuck. Remember that?
No. Do
No,
you know what that is?
no.
You don't know what the Texas tuck is?
No. What's the
Oh my
Texas
God.
Tuck?
This next segment brought to you by Urban Dictionary. Give it a goog.
Give it a goog.
The Texas tuck.
Oh, is it Urban Dictionary? All right. For those of you out there, this is for sensitive listenership.
This is
only.
marked not safe for work.
Yes, not safe for work. A Texas tuck, raising your erect penis up against your lower stomach between your tummy and your pants, hiding your massive boner from poking the eye out of your crush at school. One of many options to hide your erection. Now use it in a sentence. If it wasn't for the Texas tuck, no 8th grade boy could ever wear athletic shorts at school. Dang, my teacher bent over her desk, and I had sweatpants on. Thank goodness for the Texas tuck.
Get called to the board to solve a problem.
That's the
Pitching a
top
tent,
one.
got a Texas tuck.
That's the top one by obvious daily lingo.
There you go.
There we go.
That's our vocabulary lesson for the day.
That's our.
Tune in next week as we talk about. I don't know. Something else.
Something else. Something different. The next Olympics coming in
2026
I think it's this
is winter, right?
Wait,
So
is it next
this
year?
year?
Next winter
Alright.
is winter.
I was trying to transition to something we could actually talk about, but I wasn't actually sure when that was.
Yeah. Because Summer Olympics just happened last year.
2026.
Did
It's in
they?
Italy.
Yeah.
I don't remember last.
Milano.
I don't
Cortina.
really remember it either. Other
Oh
than
yeah,
Noah
it was in.
Lyles.
Yeah, because they were like did that parade or whatever down the river, and they had that weird.
Oh, that's right, because of all the poop in the water or whatever, and they cleaned
Oh,
it out
yeah.
so the
Wait,
triathletes.
where
could-
was the Olympics?
It was
this year?
Paris, right?
Paris?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Poop in the rivers?
Yeah, there was like increase in like E. coli or something, and so like 2 days before the Olympics, like the mayor like dove in the river to show that they had cleaned it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Bad.
Which is like a I mean, it's a
filtration,
river
I
in a
guess, yeah.
huge city.
I would.
I would not be
Swim in
swimming.
it.
It'd be like if they had a race on the James River. It's like after a rainstorm, it's just combined sanitary sewer overflow, shit river coming at you.
Delicious. Let's talk about the RVA water crisis.
Oh, hot topic here.
Hot
Hot
topic.
topic in Richmond. The
Hot
big-
topic in Richmond.
Is it really? This is the first I've known about it.
Oh,
yeah.
not even picked up on national news.
Wow.
This happened for like, what, 4 days? We were
Yeah.
without running water for like 4 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
That's
It was-
wild.
Riley texted us like at like 3:30. I think
Yeah.
that on the day, and was like, "Hey, just a heads up. Like, I think we're about to go on a boil water advisory." I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And sure enough, it happened. And I was working at home because it was snowing.
Yes.
And I was like, oh shit, well, I'll hit up Kroger before everybody gets off work and get some water. And I got up there, it was already like Mad Max in there. Like, people were coming out, like, don't even bother going in. There's no water in there. Everyone's like leaving empty handed. Everyone's at the checkout aisle, like, shoving.
Freaking out.
There was people taking like their arms and scooping the individual water bottles off the shelves of like Propel. They're like gonna like bathe in Propel, I guess. It's like what? Like they're gonna get the shit back online here soon. We don't need to go all crazy.
Yeah.
And you know it's because a bunch of people are like, oh, I need to buy fucking 10 cases
Yeah.
of water. And then they take half the stock of the water just
Yeah,
between
and then
like
2 days
3
after the
people.
crisis ends, they're like, anybody want to buy water? It's like, no, fuck you.
Or they just have water sitting in their fucking
Yeah, in their
closet.
garage, or they sit it outside and just the plastic eventually breaks down in the sunlight. Microplastics get in your body.
Yeah, as if
Anyway.
they're already in there. But
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, the water crisis. But yeah, that same day when Riley texted us, I filled up our bathtub like halfway. So
Yeah.
that's what we used to flush our toilet.
What pissed me off probably the most about that whole situation was I had just swapped out the filter in our fridge. And those things cost like $60. And so they were like, replace your fridge filters. Because I'd been running water to fill stuff up to like boil.
Yeah.
And so I ran potentially contaminated water through the water filter. So I was like, fuck, gotta go buy another one.
And that's how big corp
That's how big water gets you.
Yeah, big water gets you to consume.
AKA Nestle.
Nestle.
Buying up all the rivers in South America.
That's crazy.
Yeah, fuck them. Just kidding. I don't want to get assassinated.
So when did this happen?
Yeah, cut
that.
So when did this happen?
A
few months ago, right?
month? Or was it January?
Really?
Was it January?
So
It
pretty
might have been
recent.
January. Oh yeah.
Yeah, somebody so we didn't have any. You couldn't flush toilets because
Right.
there's no water. Somebody took a shit at work and they couldn't flush it. So and it was in the main like entryway bathroom. And it was just stinking up the place.
So what'd you have to do when you were at work? You just had to
Like,
hold it?
Yeah, that's why everyone was like, "I'm just working from home." I didn't,
Uh,
like pee in my backyard, or people were like scooping up snow out of their yards and boiling it to get it to just be water, and then putting it in their toilet to flush it. Yeah, I don't know. It was like everybody was acting like it was the end of the world.
Have you heard? So one of Hunter's friends mentioned this. I don't know if it's a theory or something that's like been researched, but he said it's I think 72 hours or 3 days of you can't just go to the grocery store and buy whatever you need to sustain a week in your life. 3 days, he said, madness.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
3 days, people go absurd.
absolutely.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Doesn't surprise me. I mean, shit, I can't. So, the funniest thing was at work, 2 months prior, we were talking about, how to have your your own water supply at home, you know, have a tank, how do you filter and purify it. And I was watching all these videos and shit. I'm like, oh, I want a house so I can get one of these
you watch
tanks.
one video and now congratulations, your recommendations are all like weird survivalist videos.
Hey, I'm kind of okay with that.
Just like, here's how I built an underground bunker for under $10,000.
It's like, no, you
I
definitely
bought 2
ensure
shipping
that.
crates.
Yeah, you didn't insure it.
And I rented an excavator and I
Yeah.
buried these things. Yeah.
And I have a buddy of mine that gave this all to me on a discount.
My buddy owns a concrete company, and
I'm just
forked
gonna
up his
constantly
bunker.
mention his buddy's name so he'll get free advertisement.
Yeah, bro, I got a quote of one of those shipping containers recently. It's like $5,200 just for the fucking container itself. But that's one that's watertight. But obviously, you would probably want that if you're sticking it underground. But then again, we could just kind of do like a modular house or something. Do a bunch of podcast rooms. That's all we'd need.
I mean, you gotta be podcasting
if we're
in an
the
apocalypse situation.
Right, if we're the only people left on Earth, what better than to leave shit
For
to say?
those
It's
of
like
you
The
with
Martian,
shortwave radios and are listening in today, we're coming to you live from
the Slanted
undisclosed location.
Undisclosed location, the Slanted Attic.
The Slanted Attic.
Today in year 2865,
Every
January
episode
3,
you give a hint on where you're at, hoping people will find you,
but not the wrong people.
but not the wrong people.
So you got to maybe you create a secret language. You're putting it out on some propagandist low network or whatever, and then you're putting blips of information out through the podcast to create a secret coalition of people that'll band together to
You only
save
quote
the fate
Edgar
of the
Allan Poe.
universe. Exactly.
Yeah.
The Poe bar.
He always mentions something about Edgar Allan Poe. He's at the museum. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah, in high school, I worked at U-Crops, and then they became Martin's, and so they redesigned the store and made these new store maps, so people could pull the flyer and be like, where the hell is oatmeal, and you'd find oatmeal and be like, oh, it's on aisle 7. So it was help people around the new store layout.
Not a bad
actually such a
tactic.
good idea.
Yeah.
I go into grocery stores nowadays and I'm like,
You can do it on the app now.
Shit, I don't
Kroger will tell you. Home Depot I've used. It'll tell
Home
you the
Depot
box.
I use a
Okay.
lot.
Home Depot will tell you the box a screw is in.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
is-
Well,
that
a
is-
lot of those places, but grocery stores, I feel like I just still get lost.
Yeah, because you go to any.
That's the point, though. That's the point of the grocery store. all the high value, like expensive items
Yeah,
that
they
they're
make
making
you
the
walk
most
through.
margins
Yeah.
on. They
Yeah.
make you walk through, and it's at eye level. All the shit that you typically is best to buy is on the high shelves or the low shelves.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
So you
places
gotta
just
and they're
scan the
hidden,
shelves.
so
Yeah.
you gotta
Yeah.
like look. Like I feel like
it's on purpose.
there's
Yeah, yeah.
there's
It's all-
also like
marketing.
places
It's
too
all
where it's like
get you.
there's like items where you would buy them together, but they're in
Yes.
completely different places of the store, so you gotta walk
Yeah.
to a different aisle
That's
of the
why,
store
like,
to get it.
At airports, you have to like walk through like the duty free section.
Yeah.
when
Oh
you
yeah.
leave.
To get to any
Yeah.
terminal. Yeah. Oh yeah. Every time, and they make you empty your water bottles.
Yeah,
Maybe that's a safety issue, but
yeah. For those smuggling just straight liquid like nitroglyceride on a plane. cut that. But this is a good segue. Talking about getting put on lists, but so I took one of those maps and I drew a zombie survival map on it. I was like, I drew.
Did
like,
you put it back in the thing?
Yeah, I barricade, like I drew like barricade the doors, like bring food up to level 2 and like bring like all this stuff. And I was working the self checkout, so I was at that like one terminal, and I put it underneath the cash drawer. Just like 16-year-old thinking like, oh, somebody might see that and like cool, I want to draw one, like an idiot. And so somebody else did draw one, and that one was like kind of borderline on like, is it a zombie map or is it like a plan to like shoot up the store?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And so our manager was coming around doing like cash drawer checks, and she lifted up the thing and she found both of them and like ran upstairs and locked herself in the office, leaving everybody else down below, like totally, if something were to happen, like, oh, like, sorry, I left you behind. And so she called the cops, and a detective came to my house when me and my buddies were getting ready to go to an all-star baseball game. Like, I was driving, we're at a gas pump. My mom called and was like, there's a detective here to see you. And I'm like, fuck. Internally, I'm like, I just torrented like 10 movies. Like at $250,000 a pop, I'm like, I'll never financially recover from this. Like, it was over. And so I drive home, and he was like, he pulled out like a copy of my map, and he's like, do you know what this is? I was like, yeah, it's my zombie survival map. And he was like, you realize your manager like thought this was a plan to like shoot up the store? And I was like, no, I did not. And so I got suspended from work, and I had to go to a psych ward and get checked out, like, mentally.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Because you're dicking around with
Yeah. They had to like
store
mentally clear
map?
me that like it wasn't like a harm to myself or others, I guess. And so I went back to like talk to a psychiatrist, and she was like, I don't even know what a zombie is. And like, I had to ask my kid what a zombie is. And she like printed off a couple like book covers, and she asked me like, when you look at this cover, like, what do you see? And it was like a cover with a cowboy zombie, a ninja zombie, and like a Roman legionnaire zombie. I was like, I don't know, they're all from like different time periods and cultures. She was like, interesting. Just like, I guess, and asked me a couple more questions, and I went home.
What do you think about the Roman Empire? All day, every day.
Yeah, I think
That's
about-
crazy.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I guess this was right around the time like workplace violence was starting to come up, so they took it kind of seriously.
Well, and school shootings were
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, so that was a fun return to work after like the week suspension.
Yeah.
It's like, hey
That's
guys.
Did you tell everybody why you were gone?
Yeah.
They all knew.
Yeah, I was like, I'm still kind of proud of that story. It's kind of funny. People like my friends tell that about me when they're like, dude, my friend Kyle had to go to a psych ward to get checked out. Yeah.
That's why he's such a good golfer.
Yeah.
That's honestly wild that they check out like you for something like that, whereas like the kid that actually needs to be checked
Yeah.
out isn't actually checked out.
Yeah, I messed up a lot at that job.
I mean, it's a retail job, and you're
Yeah.
what,
Yeah.
16? What is there to expect
Yeah.
there? I mean, come on. As an adult now, looking back
I
at
would
that,
love
I'm
to
like,
collect the trash at the end of the night because it was like a free like 2 hours where you're like just by yourself, just collecting trash out of all the trash cans around the store.
take 2 hours to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, it takes 2
It
hours.
takes 2
when
hours
you're
when
taking
you-
your time.
yeah,
and
when
You
you
get paid hourly.
Yeah. When you milk the clock and you don't want to go back up
When
front.
you're
when you're getting
1099.
paid minimum wage
Yeah.
to do work. That's the work ethic that you should.
Sorry,
I don't know, man.
I
At
don't
that
want to go
point-
bag groceries, so I'm gonna just kind of.
At that point, though, I was like, am I going to stand here for another 45 minutes for $4 and then the government takes 30
Yeah.
cents of that anyway? I get $3.70. I can buy a soda and a candy bar at,
Yeah.
at Sheetz, bro. Let's go.
sick. My debit card's got $5.70 on it.
Hell.
Hell
Yeah.
I can go to
yeah.
Wendy's. Give me a
Yeah, I can
4
go to
for
Wendy's.
$4.
I can get a double stack, a JBC, small fried nuggets for $4.
Seems like we keep talking about Wendy's. So our next sponsor.
Next, the redhead herself. Wendy.
Honestly, though, kind of disappointed they got rid of the 4 for $4. They couldn't keep doing
Yeah.
it.
Well, yeah.
Even the
this-
$5 biggie bag they bumped
Even-
up to like
yeah.
$7.
Yeah.
now.
Bucks
It's
for
like,
a biggie bag?
How can you call something the $5 biggie bag and charge $7 for it?
It's like the $5 foot long.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Well, isn't Subway like really hurting? That ruined their entire business model. I saw some article on it last week.
I heard-
Probably.
I heard that they make
Yeah.
their bread out of the same stuff they make yoga mats out of.
Really?
Is
They had horse
is that
meat.
true?
I don't-
There's
I
no
don't know.
way
That's-
that's true.
somebody-
They
told
had
me
they
that.
tested for like actual horse meat in a European country or something.
Yeah, I think somebody took a section view of a sandwich to look at the bread, and then a section view of a yoga mat, and like they're like under a microscope, their structures are like identical.
That's wild. So we're just eating yoga mats.
It's the largest chain in the world, baby.
Yeah, Italian urban cheese yoga mat.
Yoga mat. Did
Hey,
you like-
I mean, it still tastes good.
Yeah, it's good.
I haven't had Subway sub in forever. Ben was obsessed with Subway in college.
I mean, I'll go to Subway every now and then. It's still, I mean, it's expensive, but it's still like you can get a sandwich for under $10, which you can't really get most other places. So
Jimmy John's.
even
Wawa,
Jimmy John's is kind of.
Wawa.
Arby's has maintained the same like $15 price it's had for 20 years.
I haven't
Yeah.
been a huge Arby's guy. Probably that was the lack of availability in Pennsylvania, but I've only been to Arby's like 3 or 4 times.
I like Arby's.
I like
Arby's, yay.
They need
Cookout.
to reevaluate what they consider a medium. Their medium is like a small
Yeah.
Sandwich or
like
drink?
the drink
Yeah,
and
the
the drink and
drink is-
fries. They're like tiny.
Yeah.
Shrinkflation, bro.
Shrinkflation. Baby.
Did y'all
Their
see that?
sandwiches are still-
What was that? Supersize Me in like health
Oh,
class
yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah.
You remember that?
The guy
Yeah.
eating McDonald's for every meal for 30 days straight.
I mean, in hindsight, I mean, they should show that.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is what happens when you do this.
You can do it. I mean, freedom of choice, but this
Yeah.
is a result of doing this for
Yeah.
30 days. Could you imagine?
Your heart's
Yeah.
gonna just stop.
Cholesterol.
Cholesterol coming at you hot.
Give Sammy Sosa a little love over there.
Oh, that's pre bleaching.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like
I was just about to say,
that's like 98 Sosa,
I
bro.
remember seeing that interview of him, like, it's probably like 10 years ago now, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, he looked nothing like
No.
he did when he was
If
a
you're-
player.
Like, if you showed me a picture of him and you were like,
Who is
I'll
that?
give you $10 million if you guess this correctly. Who is this? I had no idea.
He doesn't even look like the same person.
Yeah.
No.
No. Come
Yeah,
on,
that was
Sammy
an
Sosa.
that was an exciting time.
Yeah,
in baseball.
late 90s, the
The
Long Gone Summer.
steroid
Have you
era.
seen that 30 for 30 Long Gone Summer with
No.
McGuire, Barry Bonds,
Barry Bonds?
Sammy Sosa?
I mean, compare that picture on there to him now.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
zoom in
it's-
on his face. Yeah.
Yeah, his
Look.
eyes are like creepy. Yeah. Ooh, Sammy. Sorry, pal.
He I don't know if he roided. He corked his bat. I know.
Oh, he cheated.
He corked his bat.
Yeah, he cheated. Yeah.
I didn't know if he roided because like McGuire definitely roided.
Yeah.
Bonds. Did you see that recent interview that just came out with him? He was on the All the Smoke podcast or whatever, And he was talking about if he could still hit 100-mile-per-hour pitch, and he was like, "Oh yeah, absolutely! Like, put me up at bat."
He's the is he still the hitting coach for the Cardinals?
I have no idea.
Yeah, you look at Mark McGwire, and first word out of your mouth should be steroid.
Well, technically he did HGH.
Yes.
Yeah. But
I didn't inhale.
He's currently a special advisor to the CEO for the San Francisco Giants.
Just a made up title to get paid.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
pretty
feel
much.
like that's what a lot of
Getting into sports would be so lucrative.
Well, I mean,
Once you become a coach in the NFL,
once you're
somebody will
there,
always
though,
hire
I
Once
you.
feel
you're
like
there,
the
you-
pool to like
get
to,
there.
to
Yeah.
get there is so
It's like
large.
they keep hiring like the same coaches for like head coaches and coordinators. Like, we know this guy's bad. Why are you
Right.
hiring?
Because nobody else is available. That's
Well,
good.
and
Yeah,
it's
but
like,
it's like hire a freaking
somebody else.
It's all
give
about-
somebody new.
it's
a
all about
chance.
who you know, though. It's all about networking
yeah.
and like, oh, I know this guy.
It's all
He
about
seems like a
blackmail.
Like
good...
Matt Canada was Mike Tomlin's son's high school football coach and college coach or whatever. And guess who is the new Steelers offensive coordinator? I don't know. Maybe this guy, Matt Canada,
Yeah.
that's been in the organization for 4 years and now is
One of Urban Meyer's last years, his
He's
best
bad.
man was linebackers coach. And let me tell you, the linebackers did not play well.
What do you expect?
Yeah.
Nepotism. Huge in the league.
Well, it's
Huge.
huge in every industry,
Especially sports.
especially sports, though. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
acting.
Into acting.
Nepo babies.
Nepo babies. Tom Cruise.
Tom
Cruise won't come out of the closet.
one. I'm gonna cap this bitch.
Two.
Two.
Yeah.
And then I pull out my gun.
No!
I go home at lunch. So
You get to go home at lunch?
Yeah. I mean, unless I'm like running around doing shit, but
How far is your office?
like 2 minutes.
Damn.
If I hit the lights, it's like 4 minutes.
Damn.
That's so
That's
nice.
double the time.
It's awesome.
Can we talk about that though? Like 100% increase if you hit lights? It's
Yeah.
200%.
Yeah.
That's
What?
double, bro. Double the time. If
Yeah.
you hit the lights, that's terrible.
Well, I have to go
increase.
down Malvern
If I hit the-
where TJ is.
If I hit the lights,
So there's those two
I
lights.
go from 6 to 8. It's only 2 minutes. But that statistical increase.
Well, how many lights are you hitting?
Just monument.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, so I'm hitting 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh.
But they're long lights.
Oh.
And they're by a school.
And
And
so
so-
I
and
sometimes
then-
get the school bus.
Yeah, so I do get the 25 mile per hour limit
Yeah.
through the school zone.
I get school buses sometimes in the morning. What about your commute,
What's
Graham?
your
What's your
commute
commute
like?
look
The
like?
people are dying to know.
So I have, I think 4 lights. Yeah.
4 lights?
4 lights.
But I feel like traffic in Northern Virginia is vastly
Yeah.
different than
Yeah.
traffic in
It's,
Richmond.
so it's 5 lights. So it's 2 lights before you hop on the expressway.
Yep.
And then 3 lights after.
How long
And
is that drive?
The expressway is like a 10-minute drive. So it's probably like 15-minute drive total.
15.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not too bad.
I used to drive an hour and 20 minutes one way down to Hampton.
Damn.
Made me want to start a shotgun. It sucked.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You'd get down there, you'd already be like mentally drained.
You're like, I had to drive an hour and a half here
I
already.
just sit through tunnel traffic that backed all the way up to fucking Newport News.
What kind of job were you working on there?
It's just a tilt-up panel warehouse. Wasn't anything cool.
Oh, that sucks too. It's like it's not even you get to be excited because it's anything remotely
Yeah.
interesting. It's just,
That's what a lot of the buildings are now, tilt-up panels.
I mean, it's cost effective.
It's cheap. Construction costs brought to you by
Tariffs. Dude, we already got our
and
notices.
inflation.
We already got all of our notices from all of our like subs for
There
like,
is
suppliers.
Yeah.
They already
there
put
was a
their
job.
markups.
One of the other GCs around here. It was a multi-family like apartment building. It was all wood framed. They had, I think it was down in the beach or something, and it was when COVID hit and the price of lumber like skyrocketed. They kicked the project down. They're like, we're not going to start now. So the price of materials had shot. It was like just on wood framing, I think it was like a $10 million increase.
Yeah, I believe it, man. I mean, we're seeing that now already. A lot of money was freed up over the election cycle, so a bunch of people have been hitting us for bids, and now a bunch of stuff's has been pushed in the last couple months.
Because the price,
like from maybe last month or two from the initial surge.
Because you have to, all these manufacturers have to restructure their contracts now.
Everything.
Yep.
Everything's fucked up. They're like,
shipping.
It's not going to be the same
expensive.
price that we agreed on initially.
Yep. And our price holds for steel are like 5 to 10 days, bro. We can't get them longer than that, so we'll have to reprice the building. Like, when we go in for bid, I mean, they're not selecting us until a week after, and then after that, it takes 2 months to get permitting, and then hey, we're looking at a 26% increase.
You see this byline right here? It says, was it X? Fuck, I don't forget what it's called. Cut that.
Cut that.
Escalation clause. Escalation rules the nation.
So let's talk about inflation.
Let's get into it.
Escalation.
We're an hour into this. Let's get after it.
No, we're an hour and 10 into this. And
we're
like 3 hours into this night. We're going to have to cut it. We're going to have to take a break halfway, folks. Because for some reason, I only had an 8 gigabyte SD card lying around. So that's what is in the podcasting device that we are recording our glorious voices on for you special viewers here today. So if you've stuck with us this far to an hour, 11 minutes, we're going to go for another like 30 more, and then we'll reevaluate, see what's going on, any good sports on tonight. There's been the Arnold Palmer Invitational. I mean, we could talk about that.
Yeah.
Shane
we can talk
Lowry.
about the golf league.
The golf league.
Ooh.
It's been pretty exciting.
We also may
watching?
have a potential special guest.
We might have a potential special guest come on the show.
If the contract is signed.
If the contract is signed.
Yeah.
I'm told it's in his agent's hands.
Big money agent hands.
He's coming from a different country, so the tariffs might affect the price.
Mid-flight tariffs. I hate those. They appear out of nowhere.
I'm texting him. I'm texting his agent. Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
No. You have to go through an agent. No direct contact, please.
I mean, if you're as big of a star as he is, he's got too many people.
Too many people
Man,
asking.
this is
blowing
like
up his phone.
This is like
for
episode
favors.
37 or 38 of this podcast. So I'd like to say it's come a pretty long way. And there was like 15 original episodes. I mean, back when we were in college, and then Graham and I had the podcast in 2017, which I think 4 episodes were released.
You've really now that you've got the funds to do it, to be able to,
I don't know if I'd say that, but like, working on
I
it.
am in credit card debt.
Credit card debt?
Compared to like what?
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
What this was before. I mean, it's slowly getting there, obviously.
Oh, cool. Dude,
But
it's so neat to sit in a room and talk instead of like
We've come a
online,
long
like-
way from where we were, for sure.
Were you zooming it? Or,
Yeah, I was using
we were-
Discord. I was doing
Yeah,
Discord. Riverside, which is owned by Spotify, is another popular one. But then I was having issues with the audio not
syncing up
to the video, and then it sounded poor. And like even over Discord, it's an issue because the nice thing is the bot records 3 separate audio channels, but it muffles somebody else if somebody says something. So like, even if I'm talking over you and you say something better,
I can talking like this.
Right. I can edit like on something like this, I can go in and just chop my voice out and it records you perfectly. But on those, it kind of muffles the audio. And if you're like finishing a sentence and I start to talk over top of you, I want to be able to hear whatever last 3 or 4 words you say to finish your statement. So a lot of small inane, like
Yeah.
little things, but it's like it's satisfying to me when I listen back to it because I edit every one, and it's after editing 30 of them, you notice stupid little shit
Yeah,
like
really,
that.
really seeing how the sausage is made here.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like interesting little conversations, and it's interesting to hear people's perspectives on things. And,
Absolutely.
yeah,
That's why we had
and
to.
what people are interested in, because people are interested in so many different things.
Yes.
So like when you talk to one person, it's completely different conversation than talking to another person.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. One of the ones I'm about to release here in the next couple weeks, I think it's number 29. It's with one of my buddies who is a medical student. It's just super interesting to see that process and
For doctorhood.
Yes, to hear about all that, man, it's crazy.
Have you been watching The Pit?
No. What's that?
It's on HBO.
Is that show where they take like famous people and make them do like marine shit?
No. I think that's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. No, it's
Wheel of
about
Fortune. Jeopardy.
I'm a wheel watcher, baby. No, it's about like the like a emergency room medical show. That's pretty good.
Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy. Carter's watched that a bunch.
That's the first episode I ever seen of that show. They were airlifting somebody onto like a helipad on the top of a building, and the gurney wheel wasn't locked, and it fell off the building, and a couple was boning in the front seat of a car, and it fell onto them. And that is my first experience with Grey's Anatomy. I don't know what episode that is. For those of you out there that love Grey's Anatomy.
It's sort of like a Final Destination gumbo with medical drama. Yeah.
Or House. Hawaii 5-0. I don't know why I thought of that. I just
10,000 Ways to Die. That's a good one.
You know what I've been watching heavy recently?
What's that?
How It's Made.
How It's Made.
How It's Made.
Love it.
It's
on
throwback.
HBO or Max now. I'm sorry, HBO. Don't sue me.
The original like modern Marvel show on History Channel was good too.
Yeah.
History
Discovery
Channel
Channel and
fucking
History Channel
bangers.
used to have some really good shows.
Talking to the mic.
Talking to the mic.
Yeah, hurry up over there.
Yeah. No,
Cut that.
Yeah, cut that.
Cut that.
Cut it.
Mark.
Leave it on the cutting
Oh,
board.
I just flagged it, bro. I just flagged it. I don't even know what that means.
Timestamp.
1:16:22.
Yeah.
No, but some of those shows on those odd
Tales of the
channels,
Gun.
like A&E, Discovery Channel,
A&E I used to love.
History
bro.
Channel,
Yeah.
they used to have some gems of shows. And it
Yeah.
was just, I feel like most of them like kind of blew up like late 2000s, early 2010s, and then as soon as like social media, YouTube
Streaming
took over,
services.
I would
streaming
stay home
services,
sick and
it
watch
kinda-
the History Channel all day.
Dude,
yeah.
I loved American Pickers so much until I
Mail
found out it was
Call with
fake.
Arlie Ermy,
I don't remember that one.
the drill instructor from Full Metal Jacket. He
No,
would, he
I've
would
never
answer
seen
like
that.
mail about like different like guns and shit from like
Oh, really?
past
Yeah.
times. Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Even Pawn Stars was pretty good.
Pawn Stars.
Pawn Stars and Chumley.
This is valued at $17,500. I'll offer you $4.
Yeah. Best I can do.
$4 in a ring
is
pop.
$10.
$10 in a ring pop. That was
Chumley
already
will
sucked
show
on
you
by
his
Chumley.
breasts.
Or you guys ever watch Storage Wars?
Storage.
On
I
A&E?
love Storage. The OG people, though.
Yup.
Yeah, that was Dave, bro.
Yup.
Talk about a business to get into. Those storage places return your investment in like less than
Like
a year.
owning one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's like basically no overhead,
Yeah.
especially if it's self
Yeah.
code and check in or
You
whatever.
might have like one security guy who doesn't really do anything.
Yeah. There for liability
Yeah, we're
reasons, so
building-
you can claim insurance when
We're
people
building
steal
a
shit.
couple of them, and apparently they do very well.
Do you know the cost of something like that, like relative?
I don't know.
Is it like in the 5 million range or like less or like
I mean, some of them aren't even like climate controlled. It's just like
Just
basically
a-
like here's a
a pad in a
Attic.
metal in a metal
How-
building?
What percentage of that stuff that goes in there do you think is like drugs or money that people are just stashing
incriminating evidence against a business rival?
What do you think? Do you think we should go bid on some?
I think so.
Yeah. You think? Is that why you asked that question?
We could
I don't know.
Potentially.
Yeah.
I have a buddy who's interested. You know.
I know a guy.
Yeah, I know a guy.
He came in with some extra cash this month, and he's looking to make it big.
I would kind of be interested in that. I mean, I don't know how much they go for now, but watching some of them on the show, it was like you get $200 and make a good.
Well, that shit was fake too. That shit was
Yeah,
fake
it
too.
was
Unfortunately,
fake,
like
yeah.
that's the problem.
You'd make
yeah.
$300 and have to spend $500 to rent a dumpster to get
rid of everything.
Fuck.
Shit. And there's only 2 dumpster rental services.
Yeah, instead of the ambulance chasers for lawyers, there's just storage horse chasers.
I love how they'd have like they'd always have one item that was the big reveal that they obviously just planted into the fucking...
Oh, yeah.
Everything in this storage unit is purple, but check out this one green box.
And then they have their expert come and figure out the price for them.
He's a mid-century Indochina
expert
that
happens to live 5 minutes away from the storage location.
That went to China once.
He spent a summer in Laos.
Learning the mystical.
About Pol Pot.
Oh man, I know. I used to eat those shows up. I mean, Graham knows, but I bought and sold stuff at flea markets for a while in high school. That's how I collected the video games. I have I have a bunch of comic books in here and stuff.
Is a flea market kind of like just a consignment sale?
Yeah, so it's all outside though. It's like there's not really any anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's a dying thing. But it's like a bunch of like those, what is it? Those
Gypsies.
4x4 canopies. They toss them up and just have like plastic tables and just sell shit. It's like equivalent of a group yard sale.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
A gypsy's paradise.
Yes. I used to find so much. That's where we found Conker's Bad Fur Day that we were talking about earlier.
Circle it back
all the way to the beginning. 4 hours ago,
N64.
the conversation started. N64, PlayStation 2,
Y'all ever play
Xbox
drinking and
360.
driving on N64?
No.
Not Double Dash, but I have played like Mario Kart on the Wii drinking.
Oh yeah, I've played that.
N64 is good because you can do it with one hand.
Ooh.
But you can't drink and drive.
Yeah.
Well, there's 2 versions. I've played.
Oh,
One,
there's
you
2
can't
versions.
drink until you're at a dead stop. 2,
Yes.
you have to do it one hand on the controller, one hand drink.
See, I've not played that one.
I haven't played.
I've only played no drink while you drive. No driving while you
Gotta come to a
drink.
complete stop.
Complete stop.
You gotta follow the rules.
Gotta follow the rules.
I
of
just
the road.
I hit the boost at the beginning. I chug the beer and then race.
Yeah. Or you just chug it right at the beginning and you just go.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is that like back in the 80s, drinking and driving used to be like they hadn't legalized it yet. And then I remember seeing a video, and it was like back then when they're like catching people with drinks in their car, and they're like, "You're not allowed to do this anymore," and they're like, "No, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. Like,
I'm an American.
You don't tell me what to do."
This is America.
They're like asking, "What do you think about the law?" And they're like, "It's fucking stupid. Like, why can't I drink a fucking cold one on my way home from work?"
My dad got pulled over when they were in like high school drinking, and the cop was literally just like, "Go home," and they just went home. And that was that.
Yeah, I have not had that experience. I got pulled over for my taillight being out, and I was just coming home from a golf match in high school. I had the 1994 Honda Accord. It was a little coupe, bunch of rust on it. My dad and I had put Bondo to stop the rust, and, sanded that off. Good bonding moment for Bondo. And I guess my taillight was out, and I had left my wallet in the school van. And I'm the only car on this road, and I see the lights pull out after me. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to prison. Like, I don't have my driver's license to present to this guy. Like, I don't know what to do. And he just pulled me over. He's like, hey, your taillight's out. Like, go get that fixed. That's it.
Now get on out of here.
Yeah. Now leave. That was
Never
before our
again
school had
enter
nice
this
facilities.
place.
What'd you say? I was like
was
mid transition and putting my headphones back on.
I was just quoting.
You're quoting.
Yeah.
I don't know any good quotes. What's your favorite quote? Anybody have a favorite quote?
Welcome to The Rock. The Rock, 1997. Sean Connery, Nick Cage.
See, Kyle had one off the lip. I don't have any.
I got one that's a little bit more. I don't know. I'll just say it.
Ready for it?
Okay, so a fool thinks that he's a wise man, but a wise man knows that he's just a fool.
Whoa,
Deep.
very introspective,
Introspective, indeed.
philosophical.
Introspective on a Friday.
On a Friday night, we're here drinking some beers.
We here, we live.
We live from the studio, the brand new studio, first studio
Brand new.
episode.
Brand new.
Smacked a champagne bottle on the door.
With the Slanted Attic Experience sign
We
you
got the sign. We got the sign from Grace.
Shout out Grace.
Shout out Grace for the sign.
The curtains look dope.
Hung up the curtains. Yeah, sound isolation. I'm planning on putting something on the ceiling, some bass traps in the corners, like we're doing Sammy Sosa on the wall.
On the wall. See, it's interesting because you're a Pirates fan, but you've got a Cub.
Yeah.
So, okay, you want to know the backstory? My great
Give me
uncle,
the gist.
so my grandmother's brother, has been a writer for forever and huge baseball fan. So he frequented events with like autographed items and stuff like that. And I was a big Sammy Sosa fan. I got it when I was probably like 9 or 10 years old. I actually, it's not in here. It's packed up still. We haven't opened it yet, but there's a picture of me. I was probably, 8 or 9 years old in a little Cubs uniform. So it was kind of full circle cool, the Sammy Sosa thing. I kind of wish he hadn't cheated. It's different than the roids. I think like at least roids were like personal body enhancement, and then he's straight up cheating with the bat, like the cork in the bat. I mean, they're both cheating.
They both kind of do the same thing. Allow you to hit the ball further.
Yep.
Which I'm totally fine with.
I mean,
You still got to be able to hit the ball.
Yes,
I don't care if
agreed.
you're
Yeah.
fucking
I mean, that's what baseball's
scrawny
all about.
pipsqueak versus jacked dude.
People want to
Number
see
305. Like,
yeah,
you still got to be able to hit the ball.
right. People, and that's what people can come to see. They want to see home runs.
Yeah.
They don't want to see singles and then
I'm all for a pitcher's battle when I'm at home on the couch.
Yes.
yeah.
In the stadium, I want to see jacks.
Yep.
Or even in the playoffs, I would take a pitcher's duel. But
Yeah,
like any
yeah.
any of those 162 regular games, like give me anything
Like
else.
if I'm a Dodgers fan and I flew across the country to see them play, and the final score was like 1-0 in the bottom of the 10th, like I'd be pissed. Like,
Right.
I
And it's like the pitcher.
$12,000.
Spent $5,000 on flights, $6,000 in the hotels, a $1,200 hot dog, just to see a defensive slugfest.
See
Just to
Ohtani
see
steal
a
2
pitcher
bases.
get
Yeah.
like 6.5
Thanks. Yeah.
innings, scoreless, and then
Oh, great, another strikeout. Woo.
yeah.
And a strikeout.
Yeah. Especially if
Strikeout.
if they
Another
give up a
strikeout.
hit early, so then even like the threat of like a perfect game or a no hitter is already out the door early.
Yeah.
Boring.
Yeah, that's a tough one though. Like something like a perfect game is crazy though. That's so wild.
Yeah, was there only been like 27 of them?
Yeah.
Something like that. It's like a low number.
Yeah.
That's very low. I think there hasn't been one for
A while.
probably like 10 years.
Yeah, let's look it up.
When was Roy Halladay's? I think was
That was he threw a
10
no
years
hitter
ago?
against the Reds in the playoffs.
15 years ago.
Was it the dude on the
June 28th,
A's?
2023.
No.
Domingo Germain of the Yankees.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Here we go. Let's go to the one before that. I forgot about that. Holidays was number 20 in 2010. 24.
2010.
Yeah, there was an 11-year gap.
15.
It was 2012 to 2023.
Yeah, I mean that's
Randy
birthday.
Randy Johnson, bro.
Randy
Let's
Johnson.
go.
The big unit.
Sandy Koufax.
Ken Griffey Jr. baseball in the N64. The Mariners are disgusting.
I have
It's like
Slugfest
Randy
in
Johnson
there.
pitching. Like obviously Ken Griffey's on the team, but so is like A-Rod, Edgar Martinez, Jay Buhner.
That's crazy. How did that team not win anything?
They ran into the Yankees, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we were playing Slugfest.
Kind
I
of
think it was like
upsetting.
04, 06, and it was Giambi was the leadoff, and then it was like Robinson Cano, then A-Rod,
Yeah,
then who was 4?
Alfonso Soriano.
It might have been Alfonso, then Jeter, and then Gary Sheffield, and
Gary
then
Sheffield with the
Gary Sheffield.
and then there's like 2 other guys that Bernie.
Bernie Williams
Yeah.
and Jorge
Number
Posada.
And Jorge Posada. That was
Jorge
Yeah.
that was
Posada
all
used to
9.
pee on his hands. for
Wait,
grip.
what?
You didn't
Wait.
read about that? He used to pee on his
No.
hands.
Pee before the game? You
During the
piss on
game.
his hand
Dirt.
during the game. You piss on his
Like
hand.
go to the dugout in between
Yeah, he
innings.
pee on
and-
his hands for like grip or something.
What?
Give it a goog.
Jorge Posada piss.
Yeah, you might get some interesting videos with that one, especially now with AI. I'm sure someone's
Yeah.
created that video.
It says it's true. He admitted to
Oh.
peeing on his hands to toughen them up and prevent calluses and cracking.
There we go. You think I like drinking urine? No, but it's sterile, and
I like the taste.
taste.
You think I like drinking my own urine? No, but it's sterile, and I like the taste. That's a good one.
Mm.
Love dodgeball. Patches O'Houlihan.
Patches. Dive
and dodge.
You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Think fast.
We'll say watching Tropic Thunder at the bar the other weekend was hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny.
Just on subtitles, everyone was playing pool, and slowly, like one by one, when somebody would get a new drink, they'd like see that Tropic Thunder was on the TV.
Yeah.
It would stop and just watch.
It's like moths.
But you
to a
couldn't hear
light.
the
Yeah,
sound.
yeah,
It's
you would
the
just
subtitles.
read, but then you've seen the movie enough times. When you read the subtitles, you like hear the guy's voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what
So
he's
you're
about to
pretty
say.
much watching it. Human brain's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true too. Internal monologue. What are you thinking about all the time? I have no idea. All right, I think we should take a piss break here
Yes.
shortly. Are
Sure.
we ready to pee? All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in with us on part 1 of the 2-part series of the 3-part slanted part attic podcast that might come in
Brought
1 or
to you
2 or 3
by-
parts. Brought to you by what's something that
USA
starts-
Aid.
USAA.
Not for long.
Social Security. You keep paying in, but you'll never
But
pay
you'll
out.
never see it.
Ever.
Brought to you by the IRS.
IRS.
We take your money.
We know exactly how much you
April
owe in taxes
15th.
every year,
Yeah, we
but
know
we
what
make
you're
you
paying.
pay for a
Shit, dog.
service, and you have to do it yourself. We know the exact amount, but you still have to pay
We'll throw you in jail if you don't pay it right.
because IRS, the
Because
Internal
we can.
Revenue Service. We're a service to you.
Our
All right.
country is in so much fucking debt that we have to take our.
I pay a lot of money into
Pay-
Social Security.
Yeah. That
Ain't gonna see
FICA guy
any of
takes a lot of my money too. All right, cut that.
Cut.
Cut it.
We're done.